Hey, welcome back everybody. Sean Kennedy here with Michael Wagner, the first assistant golf professional at the Springs. Springs has a magic practice facility. We're blessed at the Cliffs to have great practice facilities everywhere. This is definitely one of the finest. And the reason why I really like to coach here is on the porch side of the tee, they have some interesting slopes. And Michael's here to help me kind of understand our managing slopes. Michael, right, when we play golf, there's very few flat lies we find on the golf course.
Exactly. It's great to get your repetitions in on a flat hitting area, but when we get on the golf course, how often do we have those very flat lies? Not too often.
All right, so here's our first situation. You can see that we got this red aim stick. It's stuck in the ground and it's kind of representing what is flat or level. And you can see that ball, at least from where my feet are, it's nearly 4 inches below my feet. So I need to figure out a way, and Michael's here to help me figure out a way to get my club to the ground. Michael, is there anything I should know about what may happen to where my loft is pointed when the club tends to change its angle?
Yeah, when we're in a situation like this, as Sean said, it's a little bit more difficult to be able to find our low point of our arc. And what that does with our club is, in a situation like this, now, Sean, why don't you address the ball here for me? Show me what feels natural right here. And you can see where that club is actually now pointed a little bit more out this direction. Okay, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to bottom that club out if he's not in proper balance. One of the things that we try to do here is to be able to squat just a little bit more from his knees rather than bending more from his waist, which will affect his posture and balance. So for a situation like this, what I recommend is taking some practice swings first, being able to feel bottoming the club out and how you find that low point, and then proceed into the golf ball. So Sean will take a couple swings in a row, and that one he missed the ground, so now he's going to make some adjustments that are necessary to find his low point of his golf swing. You can see there Sean did a great job of making that club bottom out, hit golf ball, and then turf in front.
Now we find ourselves in the opposite situation. So now the ball is significantly above my feet. As Michael explained to me, when I had that ball below my feet and I was putting the club on the ground, the loft was pointed a little bit more right. So all I did was try to adjust my aim a little bit to when I touched that ball that I knew that the loft of the club would be pointed in a good direction. And he's going to help me figure out now, when I address this ball, well, is my loft going to be pointed at the target or is it going to be pointed somewhere else?
So right here we've got a significant ball above the feet. So that ball, when Sean addresses, now his club is going to be pointed just slightly to the left. So he's going to make an adjustment with his aim, and also mainly an adjustment with his posture and his stance. So what he is going to do here is he's going to not bend his knees nearly as much, stand a little bit more upright, and try to find a way again of bottoming the club out at the golf ball and then the turf afterwards. So again, recommendation, take your practice swings, feel that interaction with the club in the grass. Very nice.
Now we got another slight variation here on the theme of dealing with slope. I'm working off this upslope, and as Michael explained to me, I'm going to be adding loft to the shot whether I like it or not, just due to the terrain that I'm playing on. And another cool thing that he told me too is that if I can get my spine perpendicular to the surface that I'm playing on, it's going to be easier for me to control that magical low point that we were talking about. So I got about a 110-yard shot that I'm trying to hit, and instead of hitting my normal sand wedge, which I've been hitting, right, Michael suggested that I might move up or go down in loft, however you want to think about it.
Again, taking practice swings. Practice swings are your way of being able to know that you can bottom the club out correctly. So make that slight adjustment with your spine. You can see he's bottoming the club out very nicely, and go for it.
And again, the great tip that I got from Michael, it's not just me tilting my spine, right? It's me taking my whole pelvis and trying to get my belt line, we'll say, to match the slope. If my pelvis moves, well, the nice thing is my entire spine will follow it too. So I'm going to get my pelvis tilted a little bit. I may have to adjust my ball position now because my spine's in a little different spot. And then just work on controlling that low point. this is the last one we're going to go do today, but what I'm aware of, and probably you're all aware of too, is that it's not always ball straight above your feet, ball straight below your feet, ball straight downhill, ball straight uphill. There's variations on that theme. And again, if you're out here and you need help with this situation, seek out Michael Wagner, seek out John Mitchell, right? They can come out here, spend 45 minutes to an hour with you and create a nice little plan for you to develop the skill set a little bit better. So, all right, Michael, here I have this downslope. So is it opposite? Do I tilt my pelvis the opposite way?
You will, and this is a little bit more severe in relation to what we had on our upslope. So we're going to try to tilt our pelvis a little bit down, so we're going to be more parallel with that slope, and therefore our spine will be perpendicular with that slope. This is probably the one we get the most questions about because it's more difficult. You lose a lot of that trajectory that you're looking for. So for Sean, we're hitting a 100-yard shot here, and he's been hitting his 54-degree wedge. He's going to know when he hits this shot, it's going to be a little bit lower, and perhaps for someone of his ability, the ball will probably travel just a little bit farther than normal. That's something for you to play around with and see how much a slope will affect your distance. But for Sean, all things being equal, he'll probably hit it a little bit past his 100-yard marker that he's been trying to hit. So Sean, why don't you set on up again here, and we'll take some practice swings. We're going to try to make that adjustment here and swing along the slope, trying to make sure that we're going to make contact with the golf ball and then the grass to find that low point. So you can see Sean right here of where you can tell where his pelvis is right now, and his belt line is more parallel to that slope than it would be if he was standing at a normal straight.
Yeah. So via Michael's instruction, I'm trying to get my belt line parallel to the ground. That takes my spine and gets it perpendicular to the surface I'm playing on. Adjusting my ball position appropriately so I can brush that grass where Michael's asked me to, and then we'll try to execute.
You can see as Sean does this, he's taking lots of repetitions with his practice swing to try to feel comfortable, and that's what's difficult with this shot, is just feeling comfortable. There's a good swing there. You can see a nice divot.
Michael he gave me some simple technical cues, and the big thing for me that I really learned from him is that, okay, I need to get this thing perpendicular to the surface I'm playing on. And also understand how when the club is, we'll say, bending in different direction, how it affects where the loft is pointed. So he didn't necessarily tell me to change what I was doing, he just kind of cued me in. And then he made me actually practice the physical skill of doing it.
Exactly. Being able to come and utilize the practice facility that we have at Keowee Springs is going to be a really good benefit for you, rather than, again, practicing on a flat area. Getting the repetitions and getting that feel of how you bottom that club out and develop the hand-eye coordination necessary to hit the appropriate shot.
And your PGA professional staff here at the Cliffs is phenomenal. Seek them out, use their wisdom, and create a plan that's specific for you and your skill set. We'll see you on the lesson tee.